For 15 years, we have celebrated the incredible contribution of older adults who redefine retirement. Please join us in honoring the latest class of these dynamic and inspiring seniors who characterize what it means to be ageless and truly remarkable. Friends describe Reverend Jack Batten as organized and determined. While an accurate description, it is also an understatement. At age 90, Jack seems to pack more into an average week than others decades younger. An ordained UCC minister, he regularly preaches at area churches. Through the Partners in Education program, he shares his World War II experiences with students in 3 area districts. As a volunteer with Room at the Inn, he spends one day each week driving homeless families across town to access needed programs and services. Back home at Cape Albion, he lends his voice and his enthusiasm as a member of the Songbirds singing group. It's been said that an encounter with Jack will brighten your day. Of that, we have no doubt.
Jesus is reported to have said, "I have come that you may have life and have it abundantly." So I have tried to live an abundant life by serving and sharing with his family the whole human race. So far, it has been abundantly satisfying and meaningful. I assume it will continue to be so.
Sister Judith Ann Bell discovered a love for nursing while volunteering at a local hospital as a high school sophomore. She turned that interest into a lifelong pursuit, earning both bachelor's and master's degrees in nursing, then serving as a registered nurse, nurse practitioner, parish nurse, and nursing administrator. Her calling to religious life has seen her bring care and healing to the poor and the sick in remote parts of the country with a special concern for the elderly. Now 77, Sister Judy continues her career as a member of the leadership team of the Franciscan Sisters of Mary and as board president at the Sarah community. Her kindness and collaborative spirit inspire all who witness her exemplary life. A true servant leader, she finds unique ways to make a difference in the lives of those she touches.
That whole sense of service and presence to others continues to enrich my own life. Every morning that I get up and plant my feet on the floor, I say, "Thank you, God, for another day. You and I will do this together."
What do you do when the pastor of your church asks you to take on a seemingly overwhelming challenge? If you're Judy Bentley, you roll up your sleeves and spend the next 27 years creating the largest free health clinic in St. Louis. A nurse practitioner by training, Judy is a dedicated hands-on manager whose agency serves more than 18,000 people each year, operating entirely with a volunteer staff of doctors and nurses. From the modern clinic on the city's north side to the innovative healthcare Beyond Walls outreach program that brings health screenings and education to area food pantries, barbershops, and beauty salons, Judy leads the effort to locate, educate, and advocate for those in need every day as she continues her career. "I have a unique opportunity to make people's lives better," she says. "It's a joy to do so every day."
That's what makes life worth living. If you find something that you like to do and you commit to doing it, and all kinds of things happen. It's been that kind of energy that touches each one of us.
Spend any amount of time with Don Carlson and you'll come away impressed and inspired. At age 82, Don volunteers each week to collect tons of food for area food pantries, tutors 5th grade students at Hamilton School, and serves his church as an ordained elder. But it is the issue of domestic and family violence prevention that has dominated his time and efforts for more than 30 years. He has served on the boards of several shelters and agencies and now plays a key role on the Domestic and Family Violence Council of St. Louis County. Ever humbled, Don's impact is nevertheless significant as he brings intelligence, experience, and leadership to a cause too often ignored or misunderstood.
Things that I want to see and do, and I'm concerned about issues, and I'm concerned about a lot of things. And I try to read. I read the Wall Street Journal and The Economist a lot. I try to keep aware of what's going on in the world.
Individually, Helen and Will Carpenter are remarkable St. Louisans. Together they form an impressive team that has touched the lives of thousands of people across the planet. Will, a Ph.D. plant scientist, previously managed a department of 900 researchers at Monsanto, where they developed a wide range of life-changing agricultural products, including Roundup. Helen, the granddaughter of Dr. James Naismith, the inventor of the game of basketball, authored his biography to share his inspiring story. Today, at ages 87 and 85 respectively, Will and Helen provide volunteer leadership and generous philanthropic support to educational, civic, and scientific institutions, promoting causes ranging from the prevention of child abuse and health disparities to providing scholarships for tomorrow's most promising students.
I believe in intensity and commitment. I don't believe anything substitutes for work ethic, commitment, intensity, and honesty. I believe in all of those.
Can an 84-year-old really relate to an 8-year-old student? Well, you can if you're Luke Owen, one of the star volunteers in the Oasis intergenerational tutoring program. Each week during the school year, Lou spends one-on-one time with students at Clayton's Merrimack Elementary School. Beyond just reading with them, however, Lou takes the time to discover their interests, help them work through problems, and guide them in building the confidence to succeed. It's the same caring, respectful approach that made him a successful business person and which leads him to support philanthropic causes such as the Harvey Kornblum Food Pantry run by the Jewish Family and Children's Services Organization. Lou excels at seeing challenges and doing whatever is needed to get the job done. As a community, we are grateful.
I think we all need to be aware of other people's needs and help other people where they need to be helped. That's really where I come from. That's my background. That's how I feel. And I'm sure that many other people would share the same feeling.
In 2015, Dr. Arthur Gayle published his third book, a collection of essays entitled A Doctor's Perspective on Medical Practice in the Early 21st Century. It's an insightful analysis of the American healthcare system, and it reflects the wisdom and experience that Dr. Gayle has acquired over 54 years of internal medicine practice. A zealous advocate for physician and patient rights, Dr. Gayle continues to write scholarly articles, sponsor lectures, and promote common-sense approaches to improve the quality and accessibility of healthcare for everyone. At age 87, he still works 2 days a week, tends to his beautiful backyard gardens, and walks at least 30 minutes each day.
All I tell my patients, everything in moderation, and then the rest is luck. No overeating, no over drinking, exercise, the rest is all luck. It's very simple.
Fit, fun, and fantastic. Those were the words used by Barbara Geringer's nominator to describe this remarkable 79-year-old woman. A former nurse and nurse educator, Barbara has qualified and run in the Boston Marathon, biked from California to Washington, D.C., taken up piano lessons after retirement, practices yoga, and has climbed to the top of Machu Picchu. Back home, Barbara is a volunteer on the go, bringing her dog, Maggie, to visit residents in area nursing homes, assisting at the Center for Women in Transition, and helping to launch a No More Bullying program for area students through the Animal Protection Agency. With seemingly tireless energy and a nurturing spirit, Barbara brings smiles and hope to those she touches.
Living in the here and now, because that's all you have. I personally used to look to the future so much and not really appreciate what was happening today. And I can't change the past, but all I can do is make the most of what I have today.
Ray Hofstadter was a pioneer in the local television industry, spending 50 years as a cameraman, editor, and archivist at Channel 5. He has won Emmy Awards, was inducted into local and regional media halls of fame, met presidents and other world leaders, covered wars and natural disasters, and has his work featured in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Needless to say, he has a lot of stories to tell, and he's happy to share them. At age 91, Ray regularly speaks to various organizations at Oasis, Historic Sappington House, and Grant's Whitehaven, where he engages audiences with his love of history and his keen sense of humor. In his spare time, you'll find him brewing beer in his basement, cataloging his extensive autograph collection, riding his bike, or walking his rescue dog, Fritzy.
Keep busy. I'm doing something all the time. I was the old Sasso Page said, don't look back, somebody might be gaining on you.
The field of medical ethics is wide-ranging, complex, and often confusing. Whether it's issues like end-of-life care, genetic testing, or patient rights, the medical field today faces myriad ethical issues that require careful analysis and compassionate consideration. That's where Dr. Ira Condor comes in. A nationally recognized colorectal surgeon, Dr. Condor has dedicated much of his career to advancing the understanding of ethical issues throughout the medical profession. Officially retired in 2014, he still serves as Emeritus Professor of Surgery at Washington University and on several national boards and committees that promote palliative care and other ethical issues. Most recently, he was appointed to the board of the Barnes Jewish Hospital Foundation. He also spends time in his greenhouse, where he grows beautiful orchids and exotic carnivorous plants, which he tends with the same care he has always given to his patients.
My advice is to pass our experience on and to nurture young people to do what's right and to shoot for their goals. And we, the more senior, we're the only ones who can tell the advantage of doing what's right and helping humanity and society. Just pass that message on.
For nearly 3 decades, American soldiers and Marines have returned home from wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, damaged by post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injuries, and struggling to make successful transitions back into civilian life. Ted Kretchner wants to change that. A former Marine himself, Ted helped found the Focus Marines Foundation, which brings wounded warriors from across the country to St. Louis to help them deal with their anger and fear and how to build stronger interpersonal relationships. More than 700 Marines and veterans have already been helped, thanks to the efforts and commitment of volunteers like Ted. Now 81, Ted continues to live by the Marine Corps motto, Semper Fidelis, always faithful.
Helping veterans is my payback to those who made tremendous sacrifices for us to preserve our freedoms and to keep our country safe.
If you have 10 toes, a desire to meet new people, and an interest in learning about the hidden gems of St. Louis, you should meet Joan and Norman Crum. This ageless couple at ages 83 and 86 volunteer all over town with a busy calendar of activities that would exhaust others much younger. Much of their time is spent with the 10 Toes Express, a program designed to get seniors out walking, exploring the region's transit system, and discovering new places and experiences. Joan and Norman plan 24 such outings each year, coordinating schedules, negotiating tours, finding restaurants, and embracing the concept of lifelong learning. Always searching for opportunities to learn and grow, Joan and Norman Crum are showing that volunteering can keep one healthy, engaged, and ageless.
There are benefits that you don't realize if you volunteer. There is a wealth of knowledge that can be gained just simply through associating with other people.
We have fun. It's interesting, but if you don't do something, you're not going to make it much longer.
Want to know something about St. Louis's history or landmarks? Ask Judy Luke, longtime local tour guide. Need someone to raise money for a worthy cause? Turn to Judy, who with her husband and her committee raised $10 million for Peter and Paul Community Services in just 1 year. Need a reliable volunteer to help with tasks no one else wants to do? There's Judy doing laundry for the homeless at Biddle House. When it comes to volunteerism and philanthropy, Judy Luke's record of service and impact raises the bar for the rest of us. I've never asked anyone to do anything that I didn't do also, she says. That may explain why so many in the community turn to Judy to get things done.
Striving to be the best I can be has allowed me to see the face of Jesus in all my endeavors. Just do it with enthusiasm and laughter.
The right man at the right time. That's Art McDonald, who was elected mayor of Kirkwood shortly after a tragic shooting at City Hall that shook that community to its roots. A longtime business owner and city councilman, Art's positive approach and engaging personality helped bring the community together and move past that terrible event. No longer in office, Art continues to devote his time and energy to civic causes, ranging from the Kirkwood Train Station Foundation and the Kirkwood Arts Foundation to the Magic House, the Sprague Summer Youth Program, the Route 66 Cars and Guitars Festival, and the Winter Fireworks. With a ready smile and always willing to lend a hand, Art McDonald is the right man at any time.
Taking risks is one of the things a human being needs to do if he's to experience life at a level above the mundane.
Growing up in the Jim Crow era, Henrietta Pritchett experienced every type of prejudice and injustice, yet her deep faith and her love for others have made her a tireless advocate for her community and her neighbors, even at age 80. Virtually every day you'll find her volunteering in one of several community gardens in the Fountain Park and Lewis Place neighborhoods, where she teaches young people about gardening and the importance of healthy foods. She also helps in an after-school program, bringing along healthy snacks as she assists with reading and other homework assignments. Affectionately known as Mrs. Hen, Henrietta is proof that one committed person can make a difference.
There's an easy thing, 5-letter word, that's a master of everything, and that's a Bible. Reading and believing that Bible because it tells you the story of how to live in life and how to love.
In the classic film Mr. Holland's Opus, the lead character is surprised when generations of his students return to honor him upon his retirement. Judy Roberts had a similar moment when the rehearsal hall at Kirkwood High School was named in honor of her and her husband in recognition of their lifelong commitment to the arts in her community. The only difference is that Judy's opus is still ongoing. At age 82, she continues as an officer of the Kirkwood Arts Foundation, organizes and plays the flute in the AIM Community Band, leads an annual concert series in the park, and regularly volunteers to plan and execute special musical events throughout the community. To paraphrase a former student of Judy Roberts, there is not a life here that she has not touched.
What does the Lord require of you? To do justice, to love kindness, and walk humbly with your God. Music makes the heart grow fonder. I met my husband of 60 years in high school band.
Robert Schultz doesn't seek out awards or recognition, and it's clear that he would prefer to just go about his life's work in private. The impact of that work, however, is just too great to ignore. A practicing neurologist and psychiatrist for more than 50 years, Dr. Schultz continues to volunteer at a free clinic in St. Charles, mentor medical students at Washington University, and review cancer research protocols at Missouri Baptist Hospital. At age 86, he also finds time to play tennis 3 days a week, and you may find him sneaking off to his favorite fishing hole from time to time. Highly educated, superbly informed, and deeply committed to the welfare of others, Dr. Schultz exemplifies what Ageless and Remarkable is all about.
Keep moving, keep reading, keep your brain going as much as you can. That's the story of life.
When he retired, Bill Seedhoff was concerned he might not have enough to do with his time. Now he worries about having enough time to get everything done. As a volunteer on more than 20 boards, including the chair of the Elliott Society Board of Directors at Brown School of Social Work at Washington University, and the Development Disability Resources, the former head of St. Louis's Department of Human Services keeps a full schedule, working to better the lives of the homeless, the aging, the disabled, veterans, and ex-offenders transitioning into the community. Bill's organizational and leadership skills remain in high demand, and he is always ready to contribute to the well-being of the city he loves. That includes providing financial support to a multitude of charitable causes. It seems as if everyone knows and respects Bill, and he uses those contacts to get things done. Now, if only he had more time.
Well, I think the bottom line is that you got to stay active. Really the key to a long life. You've just got to stay curious, you got to stay engaged, and you got to continue to care and believe that there are solutions to the problems that our community has, our country has, and contribute in any way you can to address those kind of needs.
Every Wednesday morning, 79-year-old Bob Schneider can be found walking through Delmar Gardens on the Green, visiting with the residents, providing advocacy services, listening to their concerns over lunch, and working with the center's staff to resolve issues. It's all part of his work as a volunteer with the Voice Ombudsman program, and it's a role he embraces with unmatched enthusiasm. Looking out for the interests of other seniors has become Bob's second career. It's a passion that leads him to also volunteer with the Mideast Area Agency on Aging and the Silver-Haired Legislature. If it has to do with aging, Bob is likely to be there, and seniors in our community are better for it.
What I want to do with the rest of my life is to be as active as I can and be a Voice Ombudsman volunteer, advocating for residents' rights and the quality of life in a long-term care community.
Bernice Thompson has a simple rule she lives by. Each day she wants people to recognize her love of God in her life and her work. That love is reflected in her devotion to the thousands of individuals she has counseled throughout her career as a social worker and mental health counselor. Semi-retired at age 81, Bernice remains active as a counselor for Agape Christian Counseling, helping individuals and families cope with their challenges and find peace. She also serves as convener of the Congregational Crisis Committee for the Presbytery of Giddings Lovejoy, which seeks to resolve conflicts and promote social justice. Named one of the 100 most inspiring St. Louisans by the St. Louis American, Bernice continues to do God's work each and every day.
I have something to offer, and I'm of the firm belief that if I have something to offer, then it's my responsibility to share that.
St. Andrew's touches the lives of more than 9,000 seniors and their caregivers each year. The Ageless celebration not only honors the exemplary contribution of older adults, it helps generate funds to care for those less fortunate. We applaud our remarkable seniors, and we applaud all of you who have the passion and concern to help St. Andrew's provide housing, health, and supportive services through your gifts to the charitable foundation. Thank you for joining us in honoring these remarkable St. Louisans.